Good morning and a very warm welcome. You are watching JanataTelevision and this is the English Bulletin with me, Anustha Acharya. The top stories first. Nepal-India signed 4 agreements during Prime Minister Deoba's visit. Two countries agreed to expand energy, petroleum and railway mechanism. Petrol dealers withdraw protest programs. NOC agrees to address their demands within a week. 22 groups granted permission for spring expedition. Government collects royalties of Rs 56 million so far. Ukraine recaptured key town outside capital Kyiv. Mayor says they discover a mass grave of 300 people. And Nepal defeat Malaysia by 85 runs in triangular T20I series. The host to face Papua New Guinea on Monday's final. And now the news in detail. Nepal and India have signed 4 different agreements regarding mutual cooperation and collaboration, including expansion of energy, petroleum products and railway service mechanism, a report. Nepal and India signed 4 different agreements following a meeting between Prime Minister Sher Bahadur Deuba and his Indian counterpart Narendra Modi at Hyderabad House in New Delhi on Saturday. The agreements include Nepal's participation in International Solar Energy Partnership, Indian technical support for Nepal's railway service sector, Indian assistance for petroleum sector, and exchanging of exports between Nepal Oil Corporation and Indian Oil Corporation. Prime Minister also urged Modi to avail 3 additional air entry routes to Nepal. Deuba further said that the two countries discussed about resolving the border disputes through bilateral mechanism. However, the Nepali delegation did not mention anything about the implementation of the report prepared by the Eminent Persons Group. Meanwhile, Prime Minister of both the countries jointly launched the Kurtha-Jayanagar cross-border rail link on the occasion. Similarly, Prime Minister Deuba and his Indian counterpart also inaugurated 132 kV Solu corridor transmission line. The transmission line was constructed in Nepal with India's loan assistance of Rs 3.20 billion. At a news conference organized following the signings of agreements, Prime Minister Deuba said that fruitful discussion was held on various aspects of Nepal-India relations. Saying that Nepal's relation with India is very crucial, he lauded the progress achieved by India under Prime Minister Modi's leadership. Praising the effective management carried out by India to control COVID-19 pandemic, Prime Minister Deuba extended gratitude towards India for its support to Nepal's battle against COVID-19. Petroleum dealers of Nepal have postponed the protest over the Commission on Fuel. Stating that the Nepal Oil Corporation has agreed to meet their demands, the petroleum dealers have postponed all of their protest programs. Due to the protest, there had been a long line of consumers at petrol pumps in Kathmandu on Friday and Saturday. The public was eager to get petrol, fearing that there could be shortage of petroleum products due to the protest of the dealers. The petrol dealers and the Nepal Oil Corporation issued a 4-point joint agreement after an agreement was reached in the talks held between the two sides yesterday evening. Both sides have agreed to reach a proper conclusion within 7 days regarding the demand of the dealers regarding the commission and the demand for adjustment of LP gas transportation fare. Apart from that, they have agreed to seek a solution for other demands by May 30. With the onset of spring season, aspiring mountaineers have already started obtaining climbing permission and all set to begin their expedition. The Department of Tourism under the Ministry of Culture, Tourism and Civil Aviation informed that 22 expedition groups were granted permission as of March 31. So far, 5 groups have received permission for the climbing the highest mountain in the world, Mount Everest, while 4 have obtained permission to scale Mount Annapurna. Similarly, 1 group each was given permit for scaling Mount Amadablam, Mount Lhotse, Mount Kanchenjunga and Mount Dhaulagiri. Permits were also issued for climbing peaks such as Mount Nuptse and Minglung Peak. Another Altogether, 153 aspiring climbers, including 37 women and 116 men, have received permits to climb various mountains. The department said the department further shared that over Rs 56 million has been collected in royalties from the climbers so far. This is Janata Bulletin. We'll be right back after a short break. Welcome back after the break. We continue with other national news. The national active COVID-19 caseload of Nepal active caseload has reached at 942 on Saturday as 10 people tested positive for the infection in past 24 hours. The latest reported number of infections carried the nationwide tally to 978,452, while the death toll remains at 11,951 as no fatalities were recorded yesterday. Meanwhile, the total coronavirus recoveries stand at 965,559 with 90 discharges lost today. As per the latest data provided by the Health Ministry, a total of 3,360 tests were conducted in the last 24 hours, of which 2,083 were PCR tests, while 1,277 were antigen tests. Similarly, antigen tests confirmed one positive case in the past 24 hours. The total number of single-day infections from both the RT-PCR and antigen test totals to 11. A business entrepreneur has sought for assistance from the government to promote Nepali Pasmina in international market. Tricot Industries Viratnagar, which has been producing Pasmina since 20 years, has asked for assistance of government in expansion of the market in international arena. Chandra Kumar Mishra, the administrator of the company, informed that they are working on exporting the goods to the nation, other Japans and Europe. If the government help us further reach international market, it would be very helpful to revive the business which was devastated by COVID-19 pandemic. Mishra further added that 90% of its products used to be exported overseas prior to COVID-19. Mishra said that company employs 300 people and among them 80% are Nepalese. He complained about the lack of government help to reach out to the international market. The data of Department of Customs show that the export of Pasmina amounts to Rs 2 to 3 billion per annum. Looking at the figures of the country's population, 40% of Nepal's population is under 18 years of age. With a large portion of the population being young, it is important to invest in children for the development of nation. But lately, it has been seen that children are engaged in various forms of labor. A report. Generally, people under the age of 16 are considered children, and the rights that apply to children are called child rights. As children are young and they are not able to play an important role in this process, today's children are the future of tomorrow's world. But those children are still seen working as helpers in transport sectors and in hotels and restaurants. Child labor seems to have increased due to financial crisis, domestic violence, and lack of access to education. More than 1.1 million children are engaged in child labor. Although a new law on children has been enacted, but it has not been implemented.
परिवारको आर्थिक अवस्थाका कुरो, पारिवारिक सम्बन्धका कुराहरू र शिक्षामा उहाँहरुको पहुँचका कुराहरू, त्यसले गर्दाखेरि यो कुरालाई चाहिँ एउटा कसैले भन्दा पनि हाम्रो चाहिँ शिक्षा, स्वास्थ्य, सम्पूर्ण क्षेत्रमा भने आर्थिक इकोनोमिक एक्टिभिटीका कुराहरूलाई जोड्दाखेरि सबै क्षेत्रको क्रस सेक्टरल रूपमा नै बालबालिकाको इस्युलाई लिएर जानुपर्ने हुन्छ र सबैको सँगै काम गरेर अगाडि बढ्दाखेरि चाहिँ न्यूनीकरण हुन्छ जस्तो लाग्छ.
Children of school-going age who should have gone to school with books are forced to live on the streets. The National Child Rights Council is involved in the campaign to make the country free from street children.
70 सालदेखि यता हामीले निरन्तर सडक बालबालिका मुक्त राष्ट्र बनाउने अभियान सञ्चालन गरेका छौं. अहिलेसम्म हामीले झन्डै 2200 सडक बालबालिकाहरूलाई उद्धार गरेर संरक्षण गर्ने र उनीहरूलाई पुनर्स्थापना गर्ने काम गरिसकेका छौं. र अहिले पनि हरेक वर्ष हामीसँग करिब 100 बालबालिकाहरू नयाँ सडकबाट हामी उद्धार गर्छौं. अहिले यहाँले जुन अहिलेको परिस्थितिमा हामीले भन्नुपर्दाखेरि चाहिँ नेपालका शहरी क्षेत्रका सडकहरूमा सडक बालबालिका जो 24 घण्टा सडकमा बिताउँछन् त्यो चाहिँ शून्य प्रायको स्थिति हो.
The Children as Zones of Peace national campaign, which has been taking steps on the issues of children, said that the law on children has not been implemented. The CZOP says that the problem is increasing due to the inability to formulate policies, plans and programs. Parents also need to play an important role while it comes to children. The problem of street children can be expected to be reduced to some extent if the policy and rules made by the government are fully implemented. And now the news from economic front. The price of gold price increased by rupees 800 per 11.66 grams to reach rupees 99,700 per tola. The precious yellow metal was traded at rupees 98,900 per 11 grams on the previous trading day. Similarly, worked gold was traded at rupees 99,200 per tola against rupees 98,400 on the previous trading day on Thursday. According to the Federation of Nepal Gold and Silver Dealers Association, the price of silver has increased by rupees 10 per tola to reach rupees 1,360. Gold price is being traded at $1,936 per ounce in the international market. Time for a short break here at Janata Bulletin. Stay tuned for international news. Welcome back. Now the international news. Almost 300 people have been buried in a mass grave in Bucha, a commuter town outside Ukraine's capital Kyiv. The mayor of the town made such revelation after the Ukrainian army retook control of the key town from Russia. Mayor Anatoly told the AFP news agency by phone that they have already buried 280 people in the town. He said the heavily destroyed town streets are littered by corpses. All those people were shot, killed in the back of the head, said the mayor. He said the victims were men and women and that he had seen a 14-year-old boy among the dead. The mayor also confirmed to Al Jazeera that he had seen at least 22 bodies on Bucha's street. He said it had not been possible to collect the bodies yet amid fears that Russian forces had booby-trapped the corpses. The mayor is claiming that this has been a deliberate targeting by Russian soldiers, basically a massacre of civilians in this town, said Al Jazeera's Rob McBride, reporting from Lviv in western Ukraine. Police in Sri Lanka have announced a 36-hour curfew ahead of planned mass anti-government protest against worsening shortages of food, fuel and medicine in the South Asian island nation. The curfew will go into effect at dusk on Saturday and be lifted on Monday morning, police said a day after President Gotabaya Rajapaksa imposed a state of emergency, giving authorities sweeping powers in the wake of mass protest against the unprecedented economic crisis. The curfew and state of emergency, which gave the army authority to act alone, including arresting civilians in the country of 22 million, came as social media post called for protest on Sunday. The ire of the mob in the near-bankrupt country was directed on Saturday at the woman identified as the successor frequently consulted by Rajapaksa in the northern town of Anuradhapura. Rights activist and former opposition legislator Hirunika Premachandra led dozens of women to storm Girkhana Akka's sign and residence, but armed police stopped them. #GoHome Rajapaksas and #GoGotaHome have been trending for days on Twitter and Facebook in the country, which is battling severe shortages of essential, sharp price rises and crippling power cuts in its most painful downturn since independence from Britain in 1946. You are watching Janata Bulletin, and now the latest from the world of sports. Nepal has defeated Malaysia by 85 runs in the ongoing Tri-Nation T20I series. Following the 224-run target set by Nepal at the TU cricket ground on Saturday, Malaysia lost all their wickets in 19.5 overs and were all out of 138. Nepal won by wide margin of 85 runs, scoring 47 runs. Birandeep Singh became the top scorer for Malaysia. For Nepal, captain Sandeep Lamichhane took 3 wickets, Kamal Singh Aire took 2 wickets, and Kusal Purtel and Rohit Paudel took 1 wicket each. Dipendra Singh Aire, who took 110 of 57 ball, took 2 wickets for 24 runs in 3 overs. Battling first after losing the toss, Nepal added 223 runs for the loss of 5 wickets in the stipulated 20 overs. With Saturday's defeat, Malaysia missed the chance of reaching at final. The final match will be played between Nepal and Papua New Guinea on Monday. Manchester City responded to Liverpool's win over Watford earlier in the day by easing to a 2-0 victory at Burnley, then sent them back to the top of the Premier League table. Pep Guardiola's side went into the game at Turf Moor knowing that anything but 3 points would see them to go into next weekend's showdown with Liverpool's behind their title rivals. Manchester City also face a Champions League double-header against Atletico Madrid in the coming weeks, but Guardiola warned before the game his side could not afford to overlook the challenges presented by Burnley. Fortunately for the manager, his team appeared to listen to his warning, with Kevin De Bruyne giving them the lead after just 5 minutes when he lashed into Raheem Sterling's cushioned pass and drilled a first-time shot into the top corner of Nick Pep's net. We are at the end of Janata Bulletin and the headlines once again. Nepal-India signed 4 agreements during Prime Minister Seuba's visit. The countries agreed to expand energy, petroleum and railway mechanism. Petrol dealers withdraw protest programs and NOC agrees to address their demands within a week. "22 groups granted permission for spring expedition. Government collects royalties of ₹56 million so far. Ukraine recaptures key town outside capital Kyiv. Mayor says they discovered a mass grave of 300 people. And Nepal defeat Malaysia by 85 runs in triangular T20I series. The host to face Papua New Guinea in Monday's final. And that's all from the English News Desk for today. You can follow Janata Television and our programs on various social media platforms, including on our website janatasamachar.com. Keep watching Janata Television. Namaste.